Hey, I'm changing this segment from what we call it. What do we call it? Pitch blackout. I'm just gonna call it bad pitches.
Okay.
Hitting all the socials. You know, we're from the South. When you can jam and dig some banjo music going.
I've always loved the banjo. I've always loved all of the instruments that people think are annoying. Banjo, didgeridoo, bagpipes, the sitar. I one time heard some kind of fusion piece where somebody combined bagpipes with like Hindi music from India, and it was phenomenal.
Yeah, for some reason, you know, I couldn't. You and I will get a little bit like of a double audio sometimes with some of our stuff. But when I was doing the audio editing, it doesn't come out on the stream, so I guess it's okay. We'll just deal with it because I can't figure it out. So let me check on the sound here. Yeah, go ahead.
So I'm trying to drink from the pint glass we got at the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame. Look, you can't see anything on that's actually printed on the glass.
Well, it depends on what you're drinking, right?
That's fair. I mean, if I'm drinking a Jack and Coke,
yeah,
sucks be the Jack, I guess. Oh, Dad.
Yeah. Sorry.
Can you do me a favor?
I can try.
I need you to, from now on, if you guys ever drink canned stuff or like bottle cap stuff,
yeah,
please save that stuff so I can take it.
Okay. Well, I mean, we recycle that stuff all the time, so we'll just.
Well, yeah, it's just from now on.
So we'll save the cans.
No, just the caps and the pop tabs.
Oh, okay, yeah. I mean, okay, that's easy. I'll let Mom know. So.
Thank you. Good stuff.
Yep. All right.
Hopefully we get some people in stream tonight. I've got a feeling we're gonna get some good people in.
You know, and to be honest with you, I kind of don't. You know, and the reason for that is most of our friends now, you know, Mitch and Declan that showed up last week, you know, one's in Australia and one doesn't do DragonCon, but most of our friends are DragonCon folks, and that's less than 2 weeks away. So I'm sure there's a lot of DragonCon prep going on. I wish I was DragonCon prepping for like some cosplay, but it didn't happen this year.
That's okay, Dad.
I'm going to talk to the lightsaber folks and see if they know of a good source for sound effects, because there was no sense in me doing my Steampunk Jedi until I can get some good steampunk sound effects for the saber. So anyway, all right, well, we are episode 109. So So I guess we can start whenever you want to get started.
All right, let's do it.
All right, hold on one second.
All right.
So
I know. I'll be quiet. I'll mute myself. Hasuka.
Connor is quickly and vigorously dancing on the other side. Man, that music is loud in my head.
It's loud in my head too.
Yeah.
But go on.
Hey!
You know I'm the dancer.
It's true. Hey, everybody. Welcome to episode 109 of the Gene Pool Variety Hour. I am the old guy of the bunch.
109.
I'm the old guy of the bunch.
109.
Let's try that again. I'm the old guy of the bunch. I'm Dad. So the guy on the other screen or in your other ear, if you're just listening, is...
Hola, mis amigos. Me llamo Esquilmeister, a.k.a. Connor McKay.
Okay.
It's awesome to be here with you guys. I'm that cranky old fart's son up there, and we are intergenerational nerd bonding tonight.
Okay. Sounds like somebody's taking their speed today. So, cool. Good to know.
I did finally get my prescription.
Yeah,
from
well,
the doctor.
yeah, but for folks like us, taking that stuff slows us down. It doesn't speed us up. So, we're fast when we're not taking that medicine. So,
Fair.
Anyway, father son nerds. We just kind of hang out and talk about nerdy stuff. We do some things, do a lot of things at random. Chase a lot of chickens. That's why we have a chicken for a mascot. And
That's right.
we typically will talk about some movie we picked at random to watch. We have random segments that we'll do that we do at random, and the segments are things we pick randomly. So we're all about the random. We're also going to talk about just whatever we're getting into these days, and whatever we got coming up, and just kind of go from there. So, what kind of nerd stuff you've had going on lately? What's been on your plate?
Let's see. Oh, hey Dad, this may be a blast from the past. Do you by chance remember a game that we had on the 360 that I loved called Mini Ninjas?
Yes.
I recently found it on the Xbox Game Store.
Oh, okay.
On sale for only $10.
Cool.
Oh my gosh. So I had to get that nostalgia, and compared to the graphics now, it looks like an Xbox 360 game, but it still plays amazingly.
Because it was an Xbox 360 game. Of course it's gonna look like an Xbox 360 game.
But it's just comparing Xbox 360 to Xbox Series X graphics, you can definitely see a drop in quality between those two platforms.
Well, I mean, what year did the 360 come out? I mean, good grief, you know.
To 2005?
Maybe. I don't remember. To be honest with you, couldn't tell you. No, I don't think it was 2005.
Hey Siri, when did the Xbox 360 first hit store shelves?
And we're waiting.
I was right. December 22nd, 2005.
Oh, that's interesting. I didn't know that. Anyway, all right, cool. I guess because that was about 4 years after the original one came out, and I think 2001, I believe. I think 2001.
Oh yeah.
So
the OG.
The OG.
And I forget. Did you start your beta testing stuff with them with the original Xbox or for the 360?
No, for the original Xbox, because that's when Xbox Live came out. That's when they were beta testing on the original Xbox. Okay. So yeah, so I was a beta tester for Xbox Live. So I've been on for a long time. I talk about OG. I was OG before there were OGs to have OGs on Xbox Live. So, as a matter of fact, if you and I don't know if that's still on their website, but you know, Xbox, you know, used to interview gamers, and they would have an interview with a gamer, you know, that's on Xbox Live on their website. And Xbox interviewed me, and there's an interview somewhere out there on the interwebs on Xbox.com with your dad. So anyway, yeah. So I've been doing this for a long time.
Let's see. So I've been playing that for a couple of days. Grounded 2 came up with a new update,
Mm-hmm.
unlocking 3 new locations of the map, and they're doing a totally cool new thing, water buggies. There is this bug called
Man, you're nope. You're all jacked up, man. You're frozen and your sound's gone. So I don't know what's
right,
up with
really?
your internet. Yep, you were frozen and
I
your sound was gone. So
am
you're
am good
back.
now.
You're back now.
Okay.
But anyway, so fun stuff for the
anyway,
podcast.
anyway, when did you lose me?
You were talking about the water buggies.
Yes, in Grounded 2, one of the main areas that they got opened up is called Stank Pond,
Mm-hmm.
and and so you're able to dive in and craft all this like water stuff.
Right.
Aqua breathers.
Mm-hmm.
There are koi fish in the pond, and you can harvest their scales to make armor, and you can unlock a buggy that basically that basically becomes a jeez, what are those contraptions that it's like a jet, and you can hold on to it, and it pushes you through the water. It's like,
Yeah. I know what you're talking about, but I mean, I don't know what they call them because I've never used one.
yeah,
So, but
but
anyway,
yeah. So that's really cool. I've been kind of dabbling in and out of that. I am really excited for the next for the next update for Borderlands 4.
yeah, I
Um,
was
get
just
to
going to talk about
get
that.
to
Yeah.
play with Flack and the new class. It is a Loveless the Hacker, I think.
Yep. And I don't know that we get to play as Flack. I think you get to play
No,
with Flack. You don't get to play as Flack.
that's what I meant.
Okay, yeah. So, yeah, Flack was never. I know you loved Flack because you like having the pets and stuff, and I'm typically a minion kind of player, but he just never did much for me. So I mean that's fine.
It's because he was too serious.
I mean that's fine. It's just it's more stuff to collect and do. But yeah, I'm super excited for Loveless to test try. I can't wait till we get some footage of her. Um, so
Um,
because
they they actually just released he's a kind of trailer for it today, and we get actual gameplay of Loveless in that
I
trailer.
need to check that out because I know that they've given us a
Hmm.
teaser video a couple weeks ago, and they also they released the update. They released a video about the update that came out, but I didn't see any footage about Loveless herself. So yeah, I'm looking forward because you typically the characters that they bring out as DLC later on are usually the ones that I like the best. Um, you know,
I mean,
um,
I got to give it to you there. For example, I loved Gage and Krieg in Borderlands 2.
yeah. See, Gage was my favorite in that series.
And I loved Krieg just because of his sound bites.
Yeah, yeah. You know what? We didn't ever did we ever get? I don't think we ever got another player for Borderlands 3, did we?
Nope,
I
nope.
didn't. I didn't think we did.
Instead of getting two new characters you could choose from, they instead added a brand new skill tree for all 4 characters. That's what they
Mm-hmm.
did instead.
Right, right.
Me,
So and of course, I was playing Vex, which to be honest with you, this is kind of interesting. Vex is the first Siren I've played. I haven't played any of the other Sirens in any of the games. They just didn't interest me. And so, but she kind of did because of the minion player aspect of her. And I maxed her out. And I can hear me through your headphones still. By the way. So anyway, but then they released Cash, and I really like Cash, so I've maxed him out, and he's kind of become my main. But if it holds the form, then I'll probably love Loveless even more, right? So So anyway, so yeah, so that's kind of something that's going on. Um, yeah, and I'm looking for that. I'd maxed out Vex and Cash, and I think they had a level cap with them. So I've got both of them up to 60, but now they're gonna have another level cap up to 70. So I'll at least get
Nice.
I'll at least get Cash back up to 70, and then of course play Loveless. The other players in the game hasn't really excited me that much. Rafa and those guys, so I haven't played them much. But
I've loved playing as Harlow,
yeah,
and usually I prefer playing with the characters that have the long standing action skills.
mm-hmm,
That stay on the field. But I gotta say, her action skill where she sends out that giant traveling pocket of elemental energy that
yeah,
leading to a big explosion,
right.
it just works well with how I play right now, you
Yeah,
know?
yeah, yeah, and that's fine.
Plus, I love all of the geeky science babble she gives off,
right, right, right.
because because you know me, I always love the science gals. Why do you think
Yeah,
I always romance Tali in in Mass Effect?
yeah. So, but speaking of other games, I mean, I'm still mainly playing Starfield. I kind of let Borderlands go to the side, and I've gone back into Starfield, and I found my old game save for my original character that I was playing, and I'm like, I wonder how far I got, and right now I'm at like level 79 in my current character, and then I went back and I'm like, oh, I was 153 with that guy, but I've been working on doing 100% achievements. I've got one achievement left to do, and that's just something that I'll do as I go into the Unity and go into New Game Plus, building a quantum chest to kind of put my stuff in it to carry through with me, and that's just a new thing. And so I'm at the last mission basically to get to that part. So once I do that, I'll build that chest, get that achievement, then we'll have maxed out 100% at all the achievements. Then I'll start doing all the mods and start having fun with the mods. And if and someone said, yeah, but if new DLC comes out, you won't be able to get the achievements. Well, I've got my old character that's at a level 153. I'll just go back and play those things with him to get the achievements, and then come back and play my modded out character. So I'm really digging, you know, just exploring. I found the planet that I liked before that has features in there that are like um, almost like hot springs. You can build your outpost around them and basically have your own natural hot springs on your property. So I'll eventually do that. I built my first ship a couple weeks ago again after on this playthrough. So that's usually where I lose most of my time is building ships, just playing with that and doing different designs and stuff. So anyway, so yeah, so that's kind of what's going on with
Let's
me.
see. I've also been also just to go back to something that I have been missing for a bit. I've been playing a bit more Skyrim recently, and it turns out they combined the Creation Club with mods. So now it's all under one all encompassing thing.
Yeah, they're just all called creations, right? So
Exactly.
so mods is kind of the general
And
term, but Bethesda is called creations, right?
I am hoping I can finally after we get done tonight, um I I had to move some programs around. I had to shift around some data, but hopefully I can now finally try out Oblivion Remastered.
Oh, on the Xbox, yeah,
hmm
yeah. I haven't gone
Um,
back and played that yet because I know it'll be another time suck. So I mean, it's a Bethesda
you
game.
played a lot of Oblivion, right?
Yeah, 100%ed that one too. I got every achievement in that
So
game too.
so out of curiosity, are you able to give me like just the bare bones what the overall story is for that game,
It no.
or do you think you're going to get lost in the weeds as you try and talk about it?
To be honest with you, it's been so long since I've played Oblivion, I couldn't tell you. I know that there's
Okay.
portals that you got to go through, to other realms to kind of defeat, some Daedra or whatever. But I don't remember enough about the storyline, right? Because good grief, Skyrim has been out for over 10 years, and Oblivion came out a few years before Skyrim. So I mean, it's been 15 years since I've played Oblivion, probably. So I couldn't tell you, but I mean, it's fun. You know, I think I probably enjoyed it as much as Morrowind. Um, but
With your Aladdin pants.
with my Aladdin pants, yeah. Although I don't think I could make Aladdin pants in Oblivion. I think they took that, where you could, enchant every piece of gear that you were wearing. I think they took that out. You couldn't do clothes anymore, like you could in Morrowind. So,
You're able to enchant clothes in Skyrim. I know because I know because my mage character, all he has is basically just fancy looking cool clothes, and and then I just cast armor spells on top of that.
hmm. Okay. Anyway, don't remember all that, but anyway. So yeah. Other than that,
It's because you always focus on the armor. It didn't really look at the clothes. You just saw clothes as things to sell and possibly wear, not really enchant.
well, isn't that kind of the whole point of clothes? Is something to wear?
Well, oh, he did. I think we got someone.
Yeah. Who's the cute? Yeah, I'm sure it. Yeah, we'll see.
Of course, it's me. I mean, look at these big old
Yeah.
cheeks.
So anyway,
Thank you, Soph, for the confidence boost.
yeah. So I'm wondering if that's one of our friends kind of having fun with us. But anyway, yeah, welcome. So anyway, what else we got going on coming up?
Oh, I have some fun work news.
Okay, that wasn't where I was going, but cool. Let's take it. Let's take a curve. Go.
So I have been added to our staff wellness committee, and they've given me they've given me a pretty cool job.
And what's that?
I haven't given a letter to pass out to local businesses, and it's my job to procure donations
Cool.
and to give out as prizes for possible supplies and everything.
Mm-hmm.
And I mean, basically with let's see, the term magnanimous, does that mean how magnetic my personality is, or does that mean something else?
It means something else.
Okay. Well, because of how good I am at talking to people, I'm pretty confident I can get some pretty good stuff.
You're very outgoing and very friendly and very talkative. That's true. So, unlike your father, who would prefer to just keep his door closed in his office and just stay by himself, but that's just me. Kind of hard to do that when you see patients every day. But when I'm not seeing patients, the door's basically closed. So anyway, no, what I was referring to was what we got coming up in less than 2 weeks. But you're too busy typing. So
No.
yeah, DragonCon.
No,
So
I'm
we're
here,
gonna
DragonCon.
yeah. So Connor hasn't been in. How many years has it been since you've been? It's been at least what 2 to 3 years.
Last time I went, it was my bachelor party weekend.
So is that almost 4 years ago now?
Yeah.
Wow. Okay. And I didn't go
because I got married in 22.
Okay. Yeah. So
But now that I'm divorced, well, emotionally divorced, still going through all the legal
in the
process.
Right. So yeah. But and I didn't go last year because frequently it falls on my anniversary, and it's kind of not cool to go to DragonCon on your anniversary, especially when your wife is not a nerd like we are and wouldn't go. So so I didn't go last year, but I went the year before, but I went without you, and it's really, man, it's kind of not as much fun. I kind of went, okay, hung out with my friends, my podcasting friends a little bit, but clearly I have more fun when you and I go together and just kind of hang out and do stuff. So looking forward to doing that this year.
But of course, Papa,
Yeah.
because as you know, I am the source of the phone. I am the life of the party.
You're
the source
of something.
Of the power.
So are you trying to be Greek or Italian or Scottish? Which one? Because
I was actually trying for Spanish.
Well, a little bit of that in there too. So let's just roll them all into one. So,
I mean, I mean, I mean, there was that one universal language that people were trying to do, Esperanto, which was supposed to be some kind of weird combination of all those languages.
yeah, whatever. I can barely speak English sometimes, so I'm not trying another one. So yeah, so I look. I mean, my when we first started going years ago, I was all about hitting all of the panels, all the celebrity panels and all the show panels and this kind of stuff, and you know, and taking pictures of all the cosplay. That's kind of gotten old, you know, unless one really blows me away. I mean, you know, cosplay's cosplay. You know, I've gotten used to those things. And then we got into the podcasting, so then I started hanging out more with podcasting folks and doing the digital media track. Did a few panels there myself, and kind of have some friends there. So now I kind of go and I kind of hang out and meet them and stuff. And now it's just I'm kind of going and hanging out, and I'll go to a couple of panels. Almost the whole cast of Battlestar Galactica will be there, so I'll go to at least one of their panels. I think the Hobbits will be there. I think so. I might go to one of the Lord of the Rings panel. So you know, we'll see. Firefly folks are going to be there. I'm not a huge, you know, and I know people are going to hate on me for this.
The Hobbits are coming to Atlanta.
Yeah.
The Hobbits are coming to Atlanta.
So I'm, you know, I'm, you know, going to get some hate because I'm not the biggest Firefly fan, which is kind of sacrilegious, I know. But
it's not really sacrilegious. It's just just part of it's just one of those cult classic things that
part of the culture.
that
Yeah.
like if you're that's like if you know it, you are really into it. If you don't know it,
Yeah.
then that's okay. There's just as many people who don't know Firefly as there are people who do know Firefly. There are just as many people who know of Firefly through all the references over the past couple decades,
right,
that they know of the show.
Yeah, I know, but what you're not understanding is I know the show. I've watched the episode. I've watched the season. I've watched all the episodes of the season, and I just kind of went, okay. It just didn't do much for me. Now it had a lot of potential. And first seasons are always rough because all the actors are kind of trying to get a feel for what their characters really are, and they usually kind of settle in by season 2. So I'd have really been interested to just kind of see where it went. But they never had that chance to do that. But yes, it's a cult classic, and everybody loves it. That you know, and so the fact that it's not my favorite is probably I've lost some nerd cred. But anyway,
it's kind of like the same thing with me and Doctor Who. I gave it a good try all the way until David Tennant, which is supposedly one of the best arcs in the show.
Right.
But I couldn't get into it. I gave it a fair shot.
Yeah.
I feel like I know enough about the show just from watching clips and hearing people talk about it throughout the years.
Yeah.
That I know the show. I don't know of the show like religiously. I don't pray to the altar of David Tennant and his sonic screwdriver of awesomeness.
Well, you know, and I don't even think I got through the first season before I stopped watching. It didn't grab me much either. So there's a couple of shows out there that are part of the lore and part of the pantheon of nerddom that just doesn't hit me, you know? Like I'm sure there's people that Lord of the Rings doesn't grab them. Battlestar Galactica doesn't grab them. It's cool. It's fine, right? You don't have to like everything. That's the cool thing about nerddom. You can like what you like and not like what you don't like.
I've been hearing the recent show Supernatural is starting to become one of those like iconic shows that are just like part of the nerd culture at this point.
What, Supernatural? Oh, good grief! It was on for what 150 years. How many have? What
15? Yeah, 15 years.
It had 15 seasons. So I mean, good grief! It's pretty much mapping the history of nerddom. It's been around almost as long as nerddom has been. Good grief, that was a long show.
But it was a good show.
I'm sure it was. I kind of watched some of it with you. I didn't like it when it started getting into the whole angels and demons and Gabriel and Michael. And when it started getting that stuff, I'm like, hey, you kind of go in some places I don't appreciate. So, so I kind of pulled away from there. But so you know, and you know they've started updating the app, but they haven't completely updated the app with all of the panels that are going to be there and all the guests are going to be there yet. So we don't really know exactly. But I like to go to the shops and hang out at the vendors and look at stuff. We'll probably play some D&D one day.
Definitely.
And and so I
I'm
don't know. I
probably
want to
gonna
kind
hit
of
up some writing panels.
yeah, I get that, and I might who knows where I'll end up. The thing that bothers me is when I was really starting to get into the
When
digital.
I was a young boy.
Oh, that was a long time ago. But when I was kind of getting into the digital media panels, and I was on some panels, and I was kind of getting a little bit more involved, I went to a panel about mental health in or mental illness or mental health issues in superheroes. And there's a panel about just all like Batman, all the stuff that goes on with Batman, just all that kind of stuff, and it was really interesting, and the panel was two mental health professionals. It wasn't just normal, just regular people just talking about it. It was mental health professionals talking about it. And I got talking to them, and they said, yeah, there's been some talk about trying to get a mental health track going at DragonCon. And I would have loved to have been part of that, and done some panels about either with just general mental health or mental health stuff in the stuff that we like to watch, Like I really would like to ask the BSG panel, if I go to one of their panels, and I'd like to ask them more about if there was any intentionality in their characters in addressing or portraying PTSD. Because if any characters had plenty of opportunities to develop PTSD, it was those characters with the constant battle to save humanity and fighting, this. I mean, every episode was an existential threat. Right, and so there's plenty of opportunities.
Which show is this again?
Battlestar Galactica, and
yeah.
so it would be. I would like to know if they had any actual discussions about that, and it was intentional, or they just played their characters that way. But because there was clearly some triggers and some trauma symptoms going on in that show, and I'd like to just know if there, So that's something I might ask them. If I do one of the ask a question at the panel thing, or if I just talk to him at the Walk of Fame, but I'm looking forward to going and hanging out and just kind of seeing some of my friends.
Do you know some people from a sci-fi show that I feel like should have been going through some like PTSD triggering kind of stuff?
What's that?
The crew from Star Trek Voyager.
Oh, 100%. 100%.
I mean, like they had to travel through. I'm not even sure what the amount of light years it was, but it was light years of space with no Starfleet resources, rationing everything they can, building a hydroponics bay.
Mm-hmm.
Have interacting with alien species that they had no knowledge of, no idea how their worlds were.
Screw the Prime Directive.
Exactly. They had to figure this out all on their own.
Yeah.
Away from all these resources.
Mm-hmm. And I just, to be honest with you, of course, all the Star Trek captains could have managed that, but just the way she portrayed Janeway, it just felt like
always be my favorite captain.
It's always like, she was perfectly fit for that,
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, I mean, it's probably my favorite of the Star Treks. Voyager is. I couldn't get into DS9 for some reason. I mean, I watched probably the first 3 or 4 seasons of it or whatever, but it just got more. I don't know. It just didn't grab me as much as the others. And I really liked Enterprise. I just never finish it. I've tried it 3 times, and I get about almost all the way through it. Get about a season short of it, and then I never finish.
It's a long road.
And maybe that's why I can only take the 80s hair metal rock ballad theme song so much.
I mean, literally, first off, it's the only series in the franchise that had vocals during the opening theme music.
I know.
Why?
Look, I could even let that go if it wasn't 80s hair metal rock ballad. lyrics.
The Doctor was nice though. The Doctor character was nice in that show.
Oh, I liked all the characters in that show. I really liked all the characters in that show. Yeah, I mean, I generally liked all the characters in that show.
I didn't like the Vulcan they had on the ship.
Oh, I
That
thought she
female
was.
Vulcan.
Oh, I thought she was great. I thought she
Nah.
was great. So I really did like her.
Great actor. I didn't like the character.
Eh, I thought she did a good job of. Hey, I'm really kind of. She was really kind of the first Vulcan that really interacted with, um, you know,
That's actually a good question, Soft.
what's I wonder if you well, I mean, look at Troy. Look at Counselor Troy. I mean, she's right there. She's part of the crew in the bridge. So at least in Next Generation, clearly that was part of the canon, right? But now I don't know about the others.
Neelix. He was literally the morale officer.
Well, yeah, but
I loved Neelix as a character. He was a good character.
He was the self-proclaimed morale officer. Okay.
No. Janeway eventually gave him an actual badge and the actual title.
You're right. You're right. Yep. Actually, you're right.
Put some respect on that man.
I like Neelix. I like Neelix. I was never a fan of Kez. I was never really a fan of her. I didn't like the character. I didn't like
Kez. I am blanking.
I think it's Kez. The blonde Ocampan that was Neelix's girlfriend.
Yes.
Yeah, she was my least favorite of the whole thing.
I am glad they kind of got rid of her about a third of the way through the series, and they instead replaced her with 7 of 9.
Yeah. Well, there's a myriad of reasons why that was a better choice of 7 and 9, but also it was a much more complex character, and it was much more complex storylines for her.
Yes.
She became, and then the relationship between she and Janeway was fantastic.
Right.
Whereas you never were going to see that with Janeway and Kez, just completely different, right? So yeah.
Dad, do you by chance remember the episode where at one point Tuvok and Neelix got all gene spliced all up together in the transporter and became a whole new guest star character?
No, I don't remember that.
Tuvix.
I don't remember that at all.
It was such a cool episode because they literally because everybody was fighting with the decision because in some way Tuvix was like the best parts of Neelix and Tuvok all put together.
Yeah.
And so in a way he was his own special entity, and when they found out how to split them back apart into two people again, you felt gut-wrenching because it was basically like watching an execution of this character,
right,
who worked so hard to be a part of the crew again.
Did they get a different actor to play that character? Or
they did.
Okay.
They had a whole totally different character. All decked out in special effects makeup, of course.
Yeah.
But still.
Right. Well, yeah. I mean, I'm just looking forward to going to DragonCon and hanging out. And
right.
I used to go and I would map out. Okay, I'm hitting this panel and this panel and this panel, and I would map them out. And I'm going to be here and here. I'm going to look and see what's there.
I used to do the same thing.
I'll write a few down that I'm definitely going to go to, and the rest of it is just going to be free form. Go do what I want to do. Probably go buy some dice. The next day, hey, I think I want another set of dice. Go back and buy some more dice. I mean, it'd probably be something like that. But anyway,
so I'm thinking of actually buying a couple pitcherfuls of dice, keeping my favorites, but then instead putting all the extras in my new classroom. Let them learn numbers. They could stack with them, roll them around.
Yeah, at least last time I was there, I think it was like $10 a scoop. Now that was a couple years ago. Things have gotten more expensive lately, so I don't know what it's going to be now. But anyway, I'm thinking I'm going to be kind of maybe looking at a nice set of either stone or metal dice. So I'm kind of looking at adding a nice set, but and probably another chess X set too. So anyway. Okay, well, I tell you what. How about we do this next segment? Because I got some stories for you to tell me.
Oh, you got it.
Okay.
Let's do it.
All right. So now we're going to do our next segment we're calling it Bad Pitches.
Just a bit outside.
So
Now,
anyway,
there we go.
see,
All right.
it's too quiet. I got to make it louder. But anyway,
Yeah, too
so
quiet.
so the idea behind Bad Pitches is I'm going to throw out based on some random prompts that I came up with through AI, some random ideas for Connor to come up with a bad or could be good pitch of some kind of movie or video game or TV show or something based on these prompts. Okay. So I got two, and I'm gonna let you pick. All right, I'll let you choose. All right. So the first idea is a time traveling historian who accidentally changes the course of history in each episode, or a sci-fi series where robots try to understand human emotions by watching reality TV shows.
Okay, hold on.
Yeah.
That first prompt.
Yeah.
There was already a show like that. Oh my gosh, it's the title's on the tip of my tongue.
You're talking about Quantum Leap?
That's it, Quantum Leap.
Yeah, but they didn't change the course of history.
He basically did.
You know, this would be like if Mr. Bean was a time traveler. Okay.
Oh God.
So
imagine Mr. Bean fumbling through ancient Egypt.
And so with the other one, I'll even give you a choice there. It can either be a sci-fi series where robots try to understand human emotions by watching reality TV shows, or sitcoms. I'll let you pick. I'll give you some leeway here. Okay. So which one are you going to go with?
Okay, in that case, I actually want to go with the robots with sitcoms.
The robots and sitcoms. All right. So I want to give you. I don't have a good 60-second sound, so I want to play our elevator music a few times and just give you some time. All right. So you ready? Give you some time to think.
All right.
Gather your thoughts. Get your creative juices flowing. And we're going to play that again. Give you a little bit more time. See, for some reason, every other time it doubles in our ears. I don't understand audio mixing, buddy. It's luckily that we have this going at all. So, all right. So you can have some more time to kind of work on it. I'll kind of feel here a little bit.
I got it.
So, all right. So all right. So first, what's the name of the show?
So the show is called.
Yeah.
It's called Short Circuits.
Short Circuits. All right.
That's right.
You know, we need to take notes on these because the last one you did with the Pixar anime musical karaoke spy thriller.
Yeah.
We need to send that to Disney. It was pretty good. Okay, go ahead. So Short Circuits. All right.
Yep. So deep, so far off in the future.
Okay.
Post-apocalyptic world.
Post-Wall-E.
Yeah, post-Wall-E. Trash everywhere. Humans are literally dying off. So the humans decide to send a pair of robots with the collective knowledge of human existence in their pod, and they have to watch and record and internalize everything they can, and to then when they get back in time to the right period, dispense that information to prevent this future.
Wait. So they went back in time?
Yes.
Okay, I thought you said they went to space. Okay, so they went back in time.
As they are traveling back in time, they're meant to be watching this this hard drive, this database of what the leader deigned to be critical human knowledge of how to prevent global warming, better recycling, just in a way make sure the environment didn't crash out. You know?
Okay. So they go back in time, and they're supposed to watch all this stuff with all human knowledge to be able to disseminate knowledge and wisdom to the people in the past to prevent the future from happening.
Exactly.
Gotcha. I think.
Now, that was the idea. What they didn't find out until too late, one one of the other workers had his own private database of harvested and bootlegged sitcom shows throughout throughout the 2000s and in the late 19th century.
You mean the late
They
20? Whoa, 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 whoa.
sorry, late 20th century.
I
My
was about to
bad.
say, because there
Late
wasn't TV in
1900s.
the
How about that?
1800s. Just point of order here.
Sorry. Anyway,
Okay,
the point is, the hard drives looked identical.
they watched the wrong
He
stuff.
Exactly. So
Gotcha.
as they're traveling back in time, the information they're actually absorbing is stuff like canned
Cheers.
laughter from Cheers,
Ah, live
Benjamin,
studio,
Benjamin Hawkeye's
live
Benjamin
studio audience for
Hawkeye's
Cheers
dry
though.
humor.
Yeah,
Yes,
canned humor. I mean, canned laughter for Mash, but there was live studio audience for
fair.
Cheers. So okay, so they watch sitcoms. All right. So what are the robots' names? Oh, by the way.
Let's.
Oh, by the way. You're kind of presenting a very, very, very similar plot line to Galaxy Quest. You do realize that, right?
Not really.
Well,
With Galaxy Quest, see, I know that movie just as well as you do. So hold
okay.
up.
All right. All right.
Hold up. Let me get a sip.
The aliens watched Galaxy Quest and thought that they were historical documents of the human race.
Yes. But the main difference is they based their engineering around it as a totally different species. These robots are watching these sitcoms thinking it's information that will help humanity from the past to prevent the future.
Okay. So how far back in the past? So where does it start? Where's present day for them, for the robots? What time? When is it?
So
2150 or something like that? Way down there.
2275.
Gotcha. Okay. And how far? Where are they going back to?
They are traveling back to.
Because I'm thinking of a plot hole here. So go ahead.
I'm gonna say 1950 because the earliest show they watched was I Love Lucy.
Okay. Okay. So they go back before the shows they watch. Because I was sitting here going, okay, if they're watching Cheers and they go back to 1980 something and they start talking about Sam and Diane, everyone's like, yeah, it's a TV show, you idiot, right? So okay, gotcha. So they're going back before the shows that they watched. Got it. Okay. Because I was about to say that's going to be a huge plot hole here. All right. So okay, go ahead. All right. And so what are their names again?
So, the robot names. I'm trying to figure out something funny involving letters and numbers that can translate into into like goofy names.
Right.
But essentially, I'm feeling the names Tanner and Tucker for some reason.
Okay.
I'm feeling the names Tanner and Tucker for some reason.
Okay. Tanner and Tucker. I'm going to figure out some way to. Okay. Go anyway.
Speak those up.
Yeah. Okay. So anyway, so Tanner and Tucker. Okay. I was going to say D-O-O-F-S, but which would be doofus. But anyway.
No, not doofus. But anyway, essentially, I'm trying to have I'm trying to picture the episodes as like, do you remember that episode of Big Bang Theory where at one point they're watching all of this stuff from Back to the Future, and they've got this giant whiteboard or trying to figure out okay.
Has had.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So it's basically about the episodes to almost be like that, but instead using sitcom episodes, it's being like talking about the events from an episode of I Love Lucy to then somehow something from Bewitched or Sabrina the Teenage Witch, and just trying to connect these things and figure out how to prevent these events.
Okay.
By combining these shows and making their own messed up cinematic universe.
You know, and as you're sitting here telling me that their
We
names are
we have to pay all kinds of royalties to make it
oh
happen,
yeah,
though,
it would never happen.
to use the intellectual property.
As
Like,
I'm
whew,
sitting here thinking
be
about
funny.
Tanner and Tucker, I keep hearing Tanya Tucker in my head, and so I keep hearing this country singer in my head now, Tanya Tucker instead of Tanner Tucker. Anyway, that's aging me a bit, but okay. So what's the plot? What happens? You gave me the setup. Now tell me what happens.
Well, well, um,
What happens in each episode? Let's kind of give an idea of kind of what is kind of the goal in each episode.
um,
Making you
e
work, man.
so so each season is going to be tied into like a certain decade of sitcoms, or a certain period of sitcoms. So like the first season would be like all about these super duper old black and white kind of sitcoms. Um I Dream of Jeannie, Bewitched, I Love Lucy, the Andy Griffith Show, all these old ones that were like in black and white,
Yeah, except I
and
Dream of
so
Jeannie was in color, by the way.
oh, okay, I'm sorry,
It may have started in black and white. I don't
because
think so. I think it was always in
I have
color.
like distinct memories of episodes being in black and white. So okay,
Bewitched,
I think
Bewitched started in black and white and went to color. I do know that, but for some reason I want to say I Dream of Jeannie was always in color, but I could be wrong. My memory's not that great for that stuff, but anyway, we're sitting here
but
debating
anyway,
whether an old TV show is in black and white or color. What difference does it make? We're making some crap up here. So anyway, go ahead. Sorry.
so anyway, that's how each season will kind of go, and like each season as they progress, so like each season as they progress more and more forward, they're going to figure out okay, so all these happen in this period. So now as we move on, we can figure out how to make these events connect with these events. So like the next period would be like shows from the 60s and 70s, which would be MASH would be one of them. Other shows from the 60s and 70s, I'm
They
not
watch.
sure that.
Okay. So they.
Oh, no wait. The
I
A
had an
Team
idea.
is more action. That's not
What?
sitcom.
Yeah. So say one episode or a few episodes are set during the Vietnam War, and they've
Hmm.
watched MASH, and so they teach them medical techniques that they learned on MASH. They teach them meatball surgery that helps them save people in the Vietnam War. I don't know. I'm not as creative as you, so, but
They also they also they also figure out that good bedside manner is for some reason degrading their patients a little bit.
how's that?
Well, I
How?
mean, how many times did we see Hawkeye, um, give it to his patients, like reading them the riot act, like I mean, there's that one episode where they paint this guy in like soaked iodide to make him feel like what it's like to be black. It
Mm-hmm.
was like
Because he was a
did
racist,
you get
right?
the right color blood exactly?
Right. Yeah. And I mean, look, like talking about that, like I think I even mentioned it in the last episode or recent episode, or somehow we got talking about it, and oh yeah, because it was last episode we were talking about House
What's in
versus
my head?
House
House
versus
versus Hawkeye.
Hawkeye, and that your mom, who is a retired cardiovascular PA, she worked in heart surgery for several years,
Hmm.
said that that's kind of the rule of thumb. You want a surgeon that doesn't have good bedside manner, because if they don't have good bedside manner, they're going to be a better surgeon because they're all focused on the surgery stuff. She said, and it wasn't completely 100%, but generally speaking, if they had great bedside manner, they weren't the best surgeon. So she's like, I always want the jerk surgeon because he's going to be the better surgeon than the nice guy. So anyway, all right. Is there anything else about that show?
Let's see. So okay, when the show first starts out,
Yeah.
they are basically deadpan, monotone speaking robots. Almost kind of like do you remember the robot from iRobot with Will Smith,
Mm-hmm.
Sonny? is essentially starting out like that.
Okay.
But then, as more and more time goes by, they end up adopting more and more mannerisms from the shows they've watched.
Mm-hmm.
So like Tanner will become the overly neurotic, serious kind of person,
Yeah.
and the Tucker would become the nervous klutz who was always trying to sound smarter than he actually is.
Right.
So like, so like as they continue going on, they build their personality matrices and their personality constructs from all these shows that they watch, which becomes these like mishmashes of like a bunch of main and side characters
Right.
throughout the generations.
Okay. All right. So all right.
Okay, think
I,
of it almost like a version of Mystery Science Theater,
okay.
focusing around TV shows rather than movies.
Okay. So then the question is, how does the series end? What's the series finale?
Um, okay, it's an ending that it's an ending that's going to piss a lot of people off. Just like
We're
how the ending
nerds.
of
We're used to series finales that piss us
no,
off.
listen. Just like how the ending scene of the Truman Show pissed everybody off.
Oh, I love the end. I love the end of the Truman Show. I thought that was a
No, but like
fantastic ending to that movie.
all we see is him just walk out saying goodbye, and basically that's the same kind of ending I'm picturing. Is just these guys saying goodbye.
They needed
And
the
like
Porky Pig. That's
they
all,
look at
folks.
each other.
Right.
Exactly.
Yeah. No, it just of course chicken. I absolutely loved the ending to the Truman Show. I thought it was perfect to end because it was just like now he gets to write his own script. Right. His whole life had been scripted. It was kind of a perfect metaphor of him just walking out and closing the door of now he's writing his own story and nobody knows what it's going to be. Right? I
Yeah,
thought
but
that was
he's gonna have
perfect.
he's gonna have like at least a 3-year adjustment period of just realizing how the real world actually
Yeah,
works.
but there's the girl that he was in love with that loved him that they kicked her off the show because she was trying to tell him the truth. She's going to find him and they're going to be together, and then she's going to help
Yeah,
him adjust. Right?
yeah, but still, that's it would basically kind of like be the Jane and Tarzan dynamic. Jane is teaching Tarzan all these things about the real world, and that takes
Yeah.
a long period of time.
But here's the thing. Here's the thing. It's not the same as Tarzan because Tarzan lived in a jungle with no civilization. Truman had civilization. He had a town, a nice little quaint town. He knew how things worked. It was just all scripted though, but he knew how things worked. He knew that there was travel. He knew that
He
there was cars.
lived
He knew all that stuff.
he lived in a pocket of reality that had basically much of its ideas pulled from soap operas.
Sure. Not soap operas, more
and
like Leave It to Beaver type stuff, right?
uh,
Yeah, I get
um
that.
um but so like still he would have this distorted form of reality. Felt like everything somehow always gets tied up with a neat bow, or there's always this like one random twist
And
with
I get that.
things, and that takes a lot of time to actually readjust your brain to get out of that.
Yeah, but I think I like for
He's basically
example,
he's been brainwashed for over 30
but
years.
I think the leap for him, the learning curve for him is much smaller, infinitely smaller than Tarzan, but also is even smaller than say Buddy the Elf. In New York City, you know, if you see gum stuck on the bottom of a chair, don't eat it. It's not free candy, right? I mean, his adjustment was bigger than Truman's would be. Still, I agree. There'd be an adjustment. I absolutely agree, but not as stark of anyway. So yeah, that was a fun chicken. That was a fun
He
chicken.
would have these giant glaring gaps in his knowledge
Yeah.
for years to come.
Right.
It's kind of like when one of my coworkers, for the longest time, she always pronounced the words Chameleon, and Library as, I kid you not, Chameleon and Library.
Well, yeah, I mean that's a common one. Like a lot of people will, instead of saying nuclear, they say nuclear. I mean, even one of our former presidents, President Bush, used to always say nuclear instead of nuclear. And he's a president of the United States. Okay, so it happens, right? But anyway,
from Texas.
all right. So, hey, smart folks in Texas, what do you think NASA's
I know,
doofus? So anyway,
hold on. What isn't NASA in Florida?
that's where they launched a lot of their rockets, but NASA headquarters is in Houston. Remember, Houston, we have a problem. I mean, like mission.
Okay, but so like, why do they launch their rockets literally halfway across the country?
It's because of location. It's because of location near the equator, weather. There's just different reasons why they've chosen there to be where they launched most of them.
Isn't
Cape Canaveral,
Texas and Florida kind of on the same location geographically on the line? Why is it
close?
It's just Florida. Except Florida pokes out a little bit.
But hey, Google it, buddy. But Cape Canaveral is where they usually launch them from. But Mission Control is in Houston, Texas. I mean, remember from Apollo 13, Houston, we have a problem, right?
Yeah.
So.
Oh, quick question.
Sure. Is this another chicken?
Kind of. It's talking about Apollo. Papa worked on one of the Apollo modules, didn't he?
Mm-hmm.
I don't. Was it Apollo 11? Right.
I don't remember which one, but he used to always say, or your mom would always say that your papa had his name on pieces of equipment that landed on the moon.
Yeah.
So,
he was also part of the team that helped develop the urine filtration system, right?
I don't remember. I don't remember specifically, but anyway, you have to ask Mom when you see her next weekend. So. When you come down,
he just did a lot of cool stuff. He
did. He did. He also worked for Boeing and did wind tunnel stuff with big planes and jets and stuff. So anyway,
he also worked in communications in the Army, right?
Yeah, and that's the story that he used to tell. That he did code and he did that kind of stuff, communications, during the Bay of Pigs, the Cuban Missile Crisis. And so, he was stationed in England at the time, and it was just him and your grandmother and your Aunt Kim. She was the only one that they had at the time. She was a baby. And your Nana was scared to death that we were going to die in this nuclear stuff. And he already knew that nothing was going to happen, but he couldn't say anything. He had to keep coming home and saying nothing, and just not tell his wife that she was okay. So he had to watch her be freaked out during all that. Anyway, hey, let's talk about our movie. You want to do our movie? All right, so it's time for the next segment of
Roll for Credits.
One of these days we're going to get that smooth. But that would mean we're professional.
That's pretty smooth.
But that would mean
we're smooth like butter.
That would mean we're professionals, which we are not. So we are
professional idiots.
Point taken. So we watched. Last episode we rolled for this movie on Amazon from 2013 called The Last Days of Mars, and it's a sci-fi thriller kind of movie. And the kind of the tagline for it was: a group of astronaut explorers succumb one by one to a mysterious and terrifying force while collecting specimens on Mars. So
that's right.
The premise of the movie is there's a team on Mars. They've got a base on Mars, and they're doing all kinds of research. They're collecting samples. They're trying to look for any kind of signs of life, this kind of thing. And they've been there for 6 months. And the movie starts with 19 hours and 56 minutes before they get picked up to go back home. So they're like literally the last day that they're on Mars. And Liev Schreiber is the main character. He plays, what's his name? Victor. What was his name again?
Vincent.
So he plays Vincent. He plays the main character. And so he and one of the female characters. They're picking up one of the other female scientists, and they're going back to base. And then one of the guys that's at base says, "Hey, one of my sensors is going bad. I need to go out and check it." And the commander's like, "We're leaving in less than a day." "Yeah, but I don't want the team that's coming to have to fix that, so we're going to go fix it. Can we go fix that?" "Sure. Take this other guy with you." Turns out the reason why he wanted to go out there was not because the sensor was bad, it was because he picked up some potential signs of bacterial life on his sensor out there.
A microscopic anomaly, I think he said.
That's what he called it in the rover when they got out there, but he didn't tell anybody else what that was. And so they go out there, him and this other guy go out there, and he's collecting these samples, and he pulls out this core of this sample, and he's got this shocked look on his face. He's like, "Dude, bring the camera. You need to take a picture of this kind of stuff, right? You need to go." And then the ground collapses beneath him, and he plummets into a sinkhole. And that's where everything kind of goes haywire from there. So, and then what happens is the other team comes out to find him.
That's where the astronaut ice cream hits the fan.
Right. So then the other team goes out there to try to save them because they get the Mayday, and they go out there and they can't find them, but they can't find either one of them at that point. Because as the one that's in the rover is calling back for help, he hears somebody trying to get into the rover, and then they hear static and he disappears. So when they get out there, they can't find him at all, but they see two sets of footsteps walking out into the Martian planet back towards base.
Mm-hmm.
So they start going back, and then they get back, and those other two people show up that were supposedly dead, but they look dead, but they're not really dead.
Space zombies.
So basically, they're space zombies, okay? And it becomes
Martian zombies.
It becomes a typical, and when they go out to look for them, Vincent goes down and he sees that there's like some kind of living stuff growing on things down in that sinkhole.
It's like white moss.
Yeah,
almost.
yeah. And so then when they go back,
like white lichen.
When they go back, then the two zombies are trying to get in, and then it becomes a survival thing, and they start getting picked off one by one. It's your typical survival, last man standing kind of thing. Zombies, zambies, mambies.
Mombies, Martian zombies.
Well, we've already done a movie called Zombies, so we can't be zombies. So anyway, so that's what the movie ends up becoming, that kind of a movie, like a survival alien type movie where there's these things are trying to kill them. Somehow the virus is spreading to everybody, and everybody's turning into zombies, and it just gets whittled down one by one till the very end. So that's generally the premise. You guys have seen that movie before. Even if you haven't seen this one, you've seen that movie before. Same premise as Alien. Very similar premise to a movie called Life. If you've seen Life, got Jake Gyllenhaal and Ryan Reynolds. Similar kind of thing where they get some kind of microbial life. And it's more like a goo kind of thing than it is like this microbe turns you into zombies. And they're on a space station off of the moon or something, and not in Mars, but it's the same kind of thing. They kind of die off one by one.
If you guys want a good quality zombie movie, watch Train to Busan.
100%.
Amazing zombie movie that one is.
That's a good one. And how often now, our buddy Mitch would argue with us on this, but to me, it's like how often you get a zombie movie that can catch you in the feels, right?
Mm-hmm.
And Train to Busan does. Now Mitch, who is one of our, Mitch and Brandon, who are
our horror lover,
our horror movie aficionados, they'd say, "Oh, there's this one, and there's this one, there's all these other ones that'll catch you in the feels," and they know them.
World War Z catches you in the feels.
A little bit, yeah, not too bad.
Brad Pitt does an amazing job in that movie.
He does. I mean, he's not my favorite actor, but he does okay.
Would you consider I Am Legend to be kind of like a zombie movie?
Oh, yeah.
With Will Smith.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
That one definitely catches you in the feels.
At the end, yeah.
Yeah.
Trying to think if there's any other ones. I can't think of any other zombie movies that have caught me. Now, there was Anna and the Apocalypse. That one was funny and musical.
No, don't remind me of that monstrosity.
Oh, come on. Who doesn't want a good zombie Christmas musical to watch every year?
I I will pimp slap you with my retro sours can when I visit you guys next week if you don't stop.
It's like Elf and Santa Claus Comes to Town and Christmas Story and Anna and the Apocalypse. It's a
Oh my
Christmas
gosh.
family tradition. So,
I would rather watch Krampus.
okay. Hey, that was kind of an interesting twist, right? All right, so I think you can probably tell from both Connor and I, we weren't big fans of the movie. Now, it wasn't a bad movie that was so bad that it was fun to watch, and we've had some of those. It wasn't a movie that was bad to the point where you're just like, God, I just wasted a bunch of time. I didn't mind watching it. I mean, it was an action movie. I like action movies. I like science fiction action movies, so I enjoyed it for that. I like Liev Schreiber, but it was just super predictable. Super predictable.
Very.
I mean,
Even to the very ending moving with Vincent left alone on that ship.
yeah. I mean, I think I predicted each victim in order, just thinking about the way these plot lines go. And the second that and if you want to see it, I'm not going to ruin it. But the second the one guy who ends up being kind of the weasel character in the movie, I mean, the second he got touched, I knew he was infected. And of course, you don't find out until pretty much the very end of the movie that he's infected. But I knew that, and that was in the first 20 minutes of the movie.
Yeah.
It was super predictable. I think there's other movies that are the same kind of general plot or storyline that have been done better. But yeah, like Life, I think I enjoyed that one.
The only thing that I think could have made the victim predictions easier is if some of them were is if some of the victims were people of color, because that's been a trope in all kinds of horror thriller kind of killer movies that the people of color are almost always the first ones to go.
I mean, there've been African American comedians that joke about that. They do bits about
Right.
that, right? So, so anyway, and it ended on a kind of a cliffhanger. You don't know if the last guy has got it or not.
But you know he's gone.
I know. So,
I mean, like even if he wasn't infected, he literally said that I've got enough supplies to last me here for a bit, but I don't have enough fuel to get me to the actual docking ship that flies me home.
no, right,
So he
right,
knew he was gonna die either way.
right. But
So there was no cliffhanger about it.
well, and the reality is, I mean, it wasn't clear whether he was saying that there's no way for the people at the docking station to come get him, and that was what was going to take some time, or if he was talking about the people from Earth had to get all the way to him. So that wasn't clear to me. You might be right, but so if we're gonna watch a bad movie, I prefer to watch a movie that's so bad it's fun to watch.
Exactly.
But I did note something.
Like Gora.
Yeah, I did note something to Connor earlier today about this movie as we were talking about it. That another movie we did, which is kind of a cult classic from the 80s, we did a few episodes ago. It's called Life Force, and those are space vampires, not space zombies. Big difference.
They were like shapeless, amorphous blobs of energy that turned people into like space energy sucking vampires.
No, they were actually they were actually vampires in space, and then they would just kind of eat other people. They would just suck the life force out of them. That was kind of the special effects kind of thing. But what I noted to Connor today was that I think Life Force and The Last Days of Mars may be in the same universe. And the space zombies from Last Days on Mars may have in actuality been what were the space vampires in Life Force, because the space zombies in this movie looked almost identical to the dry, desiccated space vampire husks that were in Life Force. They look almost exactly the same. So I'm sitting there going,
Except those husks didn't move.
Oh, they did. You remember there was the one in the.
Oh yeah, you're right.
Yeah, they did, and he sucked the life force out of the other guy and brought himself back to life. Right.
Fair.
So I think we found a secret connection that nobody knew. So see, maybe we're smart and we see connections between bad movies that we don't even know.
We are secretly building the GPVHCU. Every single bad movie we watch is somehow
all tied together. All right, so how does Anna and the Apocalypse tie in?
Fever dream of Vincent as he is dying of hunger on that ship.
What about Santa Jaws?
Santa Jaws, he is having he just had a freeze dried eggnog protein supplement, and he is remembering he is somehow remembering the biting incident from his friends on Mars.
All right, I got two more.
Or possibly the kid from Santa Jaws is the great grandfather of Vincent. How about that?
Okay, I got two more for you. Zombies.
Okay, what?
Zombies. How does it tie into the cinematic universe of Gene Pool Variety Hour?
And ancient meteorite from Mars carrying that bacteria crashes down to Earth.
All right,
in that zoo.
All right, what about Gallow Walkers? That was the Western. That was the Western vampires with Wesley Snipes, I think.
Now I liked Gallow Walkers.
I don't even remember much about it.
I liked that movie.
I was not a big fan.
That was a fun movie.
Anyway,
I don't consider that as part of the cinematic universe.
Over the course of 109 episodes, we have seen some dogs. We've
also seen a couple of diamonds in the rough.
Absolutely, we have. Yep, absolutely, we have. Train to Busan was not a diamond in the rough because that was known to be a really good zombie movie. But there's a couple of other
didn't know about it.
A couple of other South Korean movies that we've seen. I can't remember the name of them. Were good. Vast of Night was good. Coherence was really good. Radiance. I like Radiance. You didn't like Radiance.
Yes. You think Vast of Night and Radiance were both good. I wasn't that into them.
Vast of Night was fantastic. The writing was fantastic on that one. Radius, I get it. It was a niche kind of thing, but I thought it was a neat concept. I think that's what I liked about it.
Cool concept. Yes, I just didn't like the actors.
It wasn't executed as much. Although the guy that was the actor in Radius is one of the FBI agents in Blacklist with James Spader. That's where I recognize him from. So, yeah. So anyway, that's the last days on Mars. Man, talk about your last day at work sucking. That was a crappy last day at work for those people.
Literally, they lived out Murphy's Law. Everything that could go wrong did go wrong.
Where's my exit interview? I need to speak to HR. Yeah, that was not good. So
every single answer to the question of the exit interview would just be Vincent's corpse giving the finger.
Yeah. Anyway, so okay. Well, I tell you what. How about we roll for our next stuff for next time, and then we'll get out of here. So
let's do it.
Now we typically do our show every 2 weeks. It's going to be every 3 weeks because 2 weeks from tonight we're going to be at DragonCon on a Friday night. Who knows what we're going to be up to? But so there'll be no show in 2 weeks. It'll be 3 weeks from now.
I might be partying it up with a couple of cosplay babes.
Yeah. I did hear. I saw a post from Katie Sackhoff today. I think. Just saying, hey, a bunch of us are going to be there. For DragonCon, we'll be there Saturday and Sunday, kind of whatever. And she said, I need to talk to Trisha. I think we're going to do the bunny party or whatever. There's like everybody dresses up, cosplays as whatever character they are as a Playboy bunny. I've never been to that. I've heard about it, but I've never been to it. So apparently there's going to be some Battlestar Galactica bunnies at the bunny thing at DragonCon. But anyway, so who knows? But So I want to roll. We roll for a movie
do
and we
it.
roll for the next segment. And the way we do that is we'll roll a 20-sided dice to kind of help us pick the streaming service that we look at. Then we roll a 10-sided dice to see what category or what genre of movie on that service. And then I roll a 100-sided dice to pick that movie out of that list. And then we also roll, we have 5 different segments that we choose from. So I just roll for that and we pick one from there. So I'm going to roll my dice. Let y'all hear my dice, and then I'm going to go look for those things, and I'll be right back. So,
Let's do it.
All right, so I rolled an 18, which is Tubi. So
Okay, we haven't done a Tubi movie yet.
Yeah. Oh, I think we've done one, but we haven't done it that often. And then I rolled an 8, which is sci-fi fantasy. And then I rolled a 75. So I've got all the services pulled up. So I'm going to go look and find the 75th sci-fi fantasy movie on Tubi in the list, and that's what we're watching next time. So y'all hang tight, and I will be right back. Okay, so this one looks kind of interesting. It's from 1976. I know the movie. I've never seen it. That's kind of stupid. For those that are listening to the podcast, Connor was while I was looking for the movie, Connor was playing with his nunchucks and just hit himself in the head with his nunchucks. Just so you have the visual of what the sound effects are right now. So the movie we're going to watch is from 1976, and it's called Logan's Run, which is kind of a cult classic. And
I've heard the name. I've never actually seen it.
Me either. When I was a kid, I mean, I was 8 years old when it came out. I'm like, oh, that looks so cool kind of thing, right? And I just never saw I didn't get to see it when it was in the theaters. And then just have never gotten around to seeing this movie. So I'm going to see a movie that I've wanted to see since I was at 50 years ago. So
as long as it's not Jaws.
I'm guessing it won't age well. That would be my guess. 70s sci-fi doesn't usually age well unless it's Star Wars. But anyway.
Fair.
So the kind of description is, in a dystopian world where people face mandatory death at the age of 30, an elite police officer is tasked with hunting down those who try to escape. So that's the premise of Logan's Run.
Hold on.
Okay.
So in their world, I'd be dead already.
Yeah. Well, you don't die automatically at 30. They kill you at age 30. They line you up and they kill you off. Yep. Yep.
That's the same thing. Why are they dying at 30? I
don't know. It's kind of similar to some other TV shows and movies and stuff that's been out. So that might be when that idea first came around. But anyway, so that's what we're going to watch next time.
I deserve to live.
Well, we all do.
I've got so much more life to live.
So, all right. So now I'm going to roll. I rolled a.
I haven't seen the Great Wall of China. I haven't licked the Liberty Bell yet. I have so much more life to live.
Okay. Yeah. You licked the Liberty Bell. You probably ain't gonna live much longer. I imagine there's 200 years worth of germs on that thing, and who knows what kind of bodily fluids have been on that thing. So anyway, hey, it was kind of cool having you pop in and hang out with us while you're cooking. So that was kind of cool. So I appreciate that.
What you cooking? Good looking.
Oh, stop! This is a family show. We don't do that. We don't.
I did nothing that wasn't untoward.
Really?
I'm assuming they are good looking and asking what they're cooking. That's all.
Okay. Well, you should never be that forward with someone you don't know. I taught you better than that.
Fair.
I taught you better than that. Anyway, so I rolled a 1 for our podcast segment next time, our random segment, and that's patch notes again. So we're going to do patch notes again. So, anyway, so we're going to do patch notes. And remember, patch notes is we're each going to take something from nerd culture, and we're going to propose a patch to improve it.
Gotcha.
You
I
remember
love
last time, you kind of patched Mass Effect. I patched Ghost Recon. We kind of did some stuff to kind of make some things better. So we're going to do patch notes and Logan's Run in 3 weeks. We do this on Friday nights, typically every other Friday night, 8 o'clock on Twitch. I turn this stream into a live podcast, so there's no editing. We just put it out there as it is because editing takes too much time. And I'm not all about that these days. I'm at the age where easy button is the way to go. So anyway, thanks Saw for hanging out with us, and Connor, thanks for hanging out and chatting with me. And I will see you next weekend, and then I will see you till I'm sick of you in DragonCon in 2 weeks. So
You'll never be sick of me.
Hey.
You're stuck with me forever.
y'all have a good week. I hope everybody is great. Do some great things. Have fun with whatever you love to do, and we'll see y'all next time. And always remember,
Stay nerdy, my friends.
always the jokester.
That's just how you raised me to be, Dad.
You're still here? It's over. Go home.